And and I'm telling my lawyer, I'm like, wait a minute, this, these text messages and picture, like everything, there's no times and dates on them. Like how that could have been 3 years. Like how is that submissible? And how are they going to take that as evidence? But they did. And
Ma'am,
I'm sorry.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
I have my special guest host, Aaron Carranza, and of course, our guest right now is attorney Paul Wallen. Paul is a CPS expert.
I'm back.
You're back. Hey,
Yeah.
Paul, we're going to take one more call with you, and then we have to make room for our next guest.
That's fine. No problem. I got to stop talking soon, so that's perfect.
Okay, let's talk to Kiki from California. Kiki, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Well, actually, I guess I have a question. My case has been, it's been going on for about 2 years. Initially, they didn't detain my kids. They couldn't for like a whole year because there really was no reason to detain my children. And then in the process of the whole thing, I did, I was in a dysfunctional relationship basically, and my son's father, he hit me, and there was an altercation, and we had split up, and that's when they came in. Actually, like a month after that happened, they came and just took my kids, and they, there was no interactions with the police for a whole month. I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Okay, and then there was no interactions with the police. They never gave me any safety plan. They never gave me any alternative to detain. They just came. They didn't discuss anything as far as like, if I had any relative. They discussed everything with the father. The social worker discussed everything with the father and the father's family. A whole lot has happened in between then from now. Long story short is, it's been a year that I haven't had my children. I finished and completed everything that they've asked me to do. They did start, I kept complaining because my little one is constantly with bruises on his face. That's a whole other story. But they gave me Saturdays and Sundays to visit. But then when they did do that, they just discontinued it. There was always an excuse as to why they couldn't do it on Saturday. And then it just phased out. Like, I think there was 1 weekend where I got to see him on Saturday and Sunday. Then it phased out to like, well, we don't have a monitor. Now, I have adult children. They said my adult children, even though my adult children passed the fingerprints because they've never been arrested, they don't have anything like that, they're responsible, they didn't allow my children to be monitors. So now I'm at a point where I was coming up for my 12-month hearing. But it's not even the 12 months because this is 2 years now. And for some reason, they're not taking in accountability of the first case where they never even took my kids. There was never a safety concern, That case should have been closed. They still, and then it turned into this case, So now, basically, my son's father has my baby, and my other son is in a foster care, and they. After I finished my parenting, I had like 2 classes short. They told me that I could have my unmonitored visits. I finished my parenting. They another 2 weeks went on. I kept asking, when do I get my unmonitored? When do I get my unmonitored? Meanwhile, my case was being continued until February. Then we get to court in February, and my lawyer, I had been just literally, and I realized that he's busy, but I had been like contacting him via text, left messages, trying to get him to give me some time so that we could discuss everything that's going on. I've emailed him all my progress. I have character references. I mean, I have text. I have so much stuff that I gave him, and he never wanted to talk to me. He never would talk to me. Initially when they took my kids from me, in the detainment hearing, they had told me that all I had to do was stay away from my ex for 3 months. And I was like, okay, I did stay away from him. But they produced text messages and pictures without any times or dates. Me, not to mention I had changed my phone number, so my ex didn't even have my phone number. And and I'm telling my lawyer, I'm like, wait a minute, this, these text messages and picture, like everything, there's no times and dates on them. Like how that could have been 3 years. Like how is that admissible? And how are they going to take that as evidence? But they did. And
Ma'am?
I'm sorry.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Okay.
You have an extremely complicated case, an unbelievably complicated case that's gone on for 2 years. You have a court-appointed lawyer all this time?
Yeah, and he's not fighting for me.
Right. So first of all, having a court-appointed lawyer with all the cases that they have, it's difficult to get the time that you would like to have with a court-appointed lawyer. But more importantly, your case is extremely complicated, and so the only way you can potentially get help would be, at least the guidance, would be for you to contact our office, and then we would send you written homework to do where you could outline in detail what's gone on and highlight it. But the problem is, even if we got that, unless a private lawyer becomes attorney of record, we can't have access to the records. So without having access to the records, there's nothing we really can do, which would mean you'd have to be able to get funds to hire a private lawyer to try to dig through 2 years of your case. And I can already see it took you this long even to try to explain a summary of it. That's what's so complicated about what you're facing.
I haven't even really got into all of it. It is really complex. And, I'll be honest with you, I've been really disappointed. I've been trying to get my lawyer, and I realize that he's busy, but I have been communicating with him for months now, and each time it's like I really do not.
Private lawyer?
Because I don't have the money right now. You know what I mean? I really tried, and it's just been a problem where I asked the court. Look, I have court on March 17th, and I tried. The judge basically told me that because I requested for a Marsden hearing, they went ahead and she's heard my case. And I told her that I felt that I was not being, adequately represented.
You're going to have a Marsden hearing on March 17th?
No, I already had it, and she denied me another lawyer. She said I can get private counsel.
That's the system we have, ma'am. I feel very sorry for you, but that's the system we have. You unfortunately don't have funds to hire a lawyer. You wanted your lawyer with
2 minutes.
I just don't have, the money that they want down. I have like half of it. I can't seem to get the whole
in any event, like
nobody's
I said,
really willing to work with me.
Number. If you want to call our office, we can send you some homework. We could look at your case. But if you were denied a Marsden hearing, it means the judge believed your lawyer was competent and could represent you adequately. And it also means that you're not going to get another court-appointed lawyer. So it's the choice is to stay with a lawyer that you do not like and do not think is representing you, or to try to seek outside counsel. Private counsel. What else? What option do you got? It's clear that your case is going down a rat hole, and it took 2 years for you. Thank God they have a show like this, so you can at least get the word out there. But that's what I feel bad for you.
Well, I've been well aware of what's going on. I've been complying with them because there's nothing else that I can do. But meanwhile, the more that I comply, the farther and farther I've gotten from getting my children back. And everything has continued to change.
That's because they have other bad crap. They have other bad stuff about you in these social workers reports that, of course, you're not telling us in this phone call. I'll bet you I'm sure what you're saying is your view of this case, right? But if we were to sit and read the social workers reports, obviously there's going to be a lot of bad stuff in there about you.
You're right, but you're right. There is, but it's not true. They kept my children because I failed to protect my children.
That's the whole point.
To protect them, yeah.
Hey, folks, I'm going to jump in here now. I have to jump in here right now. Kiki, do me a favor. Call Paul at his office. I think he'll be able to help you. Paul, give me that number one more time.
877-466-5245.
Okay, Kiki, I want to thank you for calling. Keep listening. Call us in a few weeks. Tell us, give us an update on your case, and let me know if, anything has changed in your case.
Yeah, and you can call me and talk to me no charge. I'll try to help you. We'll send you some paperwork, no charge for that. And at very minimum, I can give you some good guidance. Whether it'll change the outcome, I have no idea because your case is 2 years old, you know?
Hey, Paul, I want to thank you for being a guest this evening. We're going to talk, and maybe you'll come back soon and be another guest for it with us and help these people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis. I really appreciate it, and you're a good guy.
Thank you. And we have to take messages right now. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win.